of achievement to a very good orchestra anciently play. Gustav Mahler's second. Another crucial organization, CE, or closed enclosures would be an open non-profit American organization which can fund a construction cause to only build closed enclosures so that when we are troubled by the roughness of the old dark weather around our favorite outdoors, we can duck out from it into the closed enclosures until the bright feathery sunlight emerges. CE would only build the closed enclosures much in the city. A crucial organization of the powerful future, OK. Another open non-profit American organization I would like to be winningly involved with is OK, or Old Knots. The mission of OK is partially to help with the untying, at least halfway, of old knots for those who are afraid to untie them. Another projected fortunate crucial organization, EJPO. I would like to be winningly involved with another open non-profit American organization that helps partially poor ones by systematically funding and, with love, providing them with exquisite jackets that look fun to help partially them carry their warmth when the sphere gets cooler. It would be called EJPO, or Exquisite Jackets for Poor Ones. Another monumental charity. Another monumental charity I would like to be involved with would be an open non-profit American organization which systematically funds road recycling. The American Organization for Road Recycling, AORR, would dig up the lanes of forgotten roads, and with the old material it would reuse the pieces to make an asteroid to launch remarkably spiraling into space. In addition to worthy M.O.A.T, COAT, Cosmos, and other crucial organizations I want to be involved with, I would like to see systematically funded a crucial organization which is an open non-profit American organization that only builds vast hedges and hedgerows with earthy roses to thank over time our knowledgeable judges. It could be called the Hero or Hedgerows and Earthly Roses organization. Another crucial organization I would like to help form would be an open non-profit American organization which would systematically fund a motion picture contest. This biography motion picture contest would be judged in time by likable human beings who know how to judge and why. The biographical motion picture contest must only be about one or more virtuous individuals, it must be about the sweetness of life and about how they grew wise. Another projected fortunate crucial organization. A lovely ceremony for reasonable couples to be married on the seashore far over the earth. A mighty party is systematically funded by COSMOS, a little non-profit organization. The crucial organization for seashore marriages and order on the sea is its name. Finesse. 1. The Wonder and Love of M.O.A.T. 2. By all of the McBrides. 2. Copyright 2010, by William McBride. ISBN 978-0-557-71875-7. 3. 1. Invisibility Trusts. 4. 2. Robbie Predicts. 5. 3. Rosalinda Tests. 6. 4. Penny is Patience. 7. 5. Ariel is the most charitable being. 8. 6. Grouchy is Form. 9. 7. Jenny plays with and blesses water stuff. 10. 8. Avery, Peck Hot, is poetry. 11. 9. Tob Shbeeb is an I-beam. 12. 10. Silly Billy is Gavin, a Bine Vova. 13. 11. Hope, Tickbit, is the hopeful color of M.O.A.T. 14. 12. Marion changes the subject matter. 15. 13. Kelly experiments and is the best with numbers or anything that has to do with them. 16. 14. Diana judges M.O.A.T. 17. 15. Kabbalah gives wisdom. 18. 16. Libby is free and loves animals. 19. 17. Shnuna is heaviness. 20. 18. Bertha is a wall of I-beams. 21. 19. Marilyn creates suspense. 22. 20. Aura is fun and is light. 23. 21. TT flows around the world. 24. 22. Selfish Billy is solitude. 25. 23. Honey comforts. 26. 24. Elaine constructs. 27. 25. Teresa organizes M.O.A.T. 28. 26. Donna is outrageousness. 29. 27. Shay is splendor. 30. 28. Marba is fairness. 31. 29. Amy is friendship. 32. 30. Yaffa is Texas or the lands. 33. 31. Stephanie is a crane. 34. 32. Ora Tifarito is the light within. 35. 33. Richard is truth. 36. 34. Lisbeth communicates by speaking our sentences for us. 37. 35. Valerie beautifies. 38. 36. Kathleen is devotion. 39. 37. Kathleen and Robbie get good results for M.O.A.T. by finding the difference that makes a difference. 40. 38. Robbie and Rosalinda are the scientific method and follow the North Star. 41. 39. Invisibility and Rosalinda make the present moment into a pleasing time. 42. 40. Rosalinda and Penny make curiosity and make us smile. 43. 41. Robbie and Penny know that M.O.A.T. will be built one day, they know it will come. 44. 42. Penny and Ariel came up with M.O.A.T. and code for the constant years. 45. 43. Rosalinda and Ariel planned M.O.A.T. as a public tourist attraction and magnetize the friendships we explore. 46. 44. Ariel and Grouchy use the M.O.A.T. project to generate funds from code to charities and market the constant mechanisms. 47. 45. Penny and Grouchy are great with craftsmanship, they are dedicated with a purpose. 48. 46. Grouchy and Jenny are sculpture evermore. 49. 47. Ariel and Jenny put M.O.A.T. into motion with diagrams of the crossings of the walls. 50. 48. Jenny and Peckhat bring value to what they catch. 51. 49. Penny and Peckhat are the time without boundaries upon us. 52. 50. Peckhat and Tobschbeeb make M.O.A.T. coherent with a patient illumination. 53. 51. Jenny and Tobschbeeb activate the construction with a good instruction. 54. 52. Tobschbeeb and Silly Billy create the meaningful designs of M.O.A.T. with a networking of restorative pleasures. 55. 53. Peckhat and Silly Billy bring learning to M.O.A.T. about how the monuments delightfully grow. 56. 54. Silly Billy and Tickbit make M.O.A.T. interesting, yes. 57. 55. Tobschbeeb and Tickbit make the details beautiful for all to love. 58. 56. Tickbit and Marion change the scenery which must be beautiful. 59. 57. Silly Billy and Marion tell more than just one story in a sublime time for all to love. 60. 58. Marion and Kelly help us find any topic good to talk about through symbolism and beauty in its good forms. 61. 59. Tickbit and Kelly generate abstract visions from a company born. 62. 60. Kelly and Diana balance the budget as a poetic scene. 63. 61. Silly Billy and Diana critique the narratives we have. 64. 62. Diana and Kabbalah put us into our place and time by honoring the name of John Dewey. 65. 63. Kelly and Kabbalah get permissions and laugh. 66. 64. Kabbalah and Libby find truth in a good circumference. 67. 65. Diana and Libby find limits for us to unite in the present moment of M.O.A.T. 68. 66. Libby and Shnuna make strange and new M.O.A.T. in the lonely old familiarities we know. 69. 67. Kabbalah and Shnuna stabilize us from our weak constructions. 70. 68. Shnuna and Bertha make things solid in the years of hope and of calm. 71. 69. Libby and Bertha help us buy products of these new things to learn. 72. 70. Bertha and Marilyn make us wait to see things of height somewhere. 73. 71. Shnuna and Marilyn align our axis of vision to break the hardness of the country. 74. 72. Marilyn and Aura help us become serious about a life of learning. 75. 73. Bertha and Aura victoriously prevent us from moving with the pack. 76. 74. Aura and TT show us the world forwards and backwards too. See. 77. 75. Marilyn and TT hide the world and make the country wide. 78. 76. TT and Selfish Billy give us our homes by our neighbors. 79. 77. Aura and Selfish Billy bring us to reading to recollect. 80. 78. Selfish Billy and Honey enjoy to read books when hidden. 81. 79. TT and Honey make M.O.A.T. a patient success. 82. 80. Honey and Elaine bandage our wounds and help us heal our old hands jolly. 83. 81. Selfish Billy and Elaine lay sayings upon sayings to build new ones to love. 84. 82. Elaine and Teresa contract and subcontract peacefully. 85. 83. Honey and Teresa make things fit together in the light perfectly. 86. 84. Teresa and Donna make M.O.A.T. big to explore. 87. 85. Elaine and Donna make the construction effort a big project to launch. 88. 86. Donna and Shay love to overwhelm us with a hidden splendor. 89. 87. Teresa and Shay stack up the walls bright 10 feet high. 90. 88. Shay and Marba create dialogues to do. 91. 89. Donna and Marba are sublime each day. 92. 90. Marba and Amy are the good conversations. 93. 91. Shay and Amy give us reasons for staying friends. Wonderful. 94. 92. Amy and Yaffa make the best friendships last with poetry. 95. 93. Marba and Yaffa are helping our bodies. 96. 94. Yaffa and Stephanie are the ergonomic public tools that have come. 97. 95. Amy and Stephanie are the masters of free public tools that have come. 98. 96. Stephanie and Aura Tifarito cultivate our minds, putting the best love in our minds. 99. 97. Yaffa and Aura Tifarito help us remember to pass by what was passed by. 100. 98. Aura Tifarito and Richard help us know hope in our latenesses. 101. 99. Stephanie and Richard are the correct uses for true instruments. 102. 100. Richard and Lisbeth help us to utter in honestness a lifetime's worth of love. 103. 101. Aura Tifarito and Lisbeth invent undiscovered game moves. 104. 102. Lisbeth and Valerie make art a common commodity. 105. 103. Richard and Valerie tend to our friendships. 106. 104. Valerie and Kathleen know phrenology by touching. 107. 105. Lisbeth and Kathleen in every quietude help us memorize. 108. 106. Kathleen and Invisibly know things are in an order. Another. 109. 107. Valerie and Invisibly mature our pleasures. 110. 108. Invisibly and Robbie give us confidence when we are lost. 111. 109. Kathleen and Rosalinda made it meaningful work. 112. 110. Invisibly and Penny are made of fair laughter. 113. 111. Robbie and Ariel help us learn about angels and who touch us to raise our thoughts. 114. 112. Penny and Jenny are masterpieces of facts. 115. 113. Ariel and Peckhat shock us with the oneness. 116. 114. Penny and Tobshbeeb are noble interpretations. 117. 115. Jenny and Silly Billy, Binevova, are our geniuses. Launched. 118. 116. Peckhat and Tickbot make interesting the truth of our statements. 119. 117. Tobshbeeb and Marion give us everything and will with clues. 120. 118. Silly Billy and Kelly are fair and just angels. 121. 119. Tickbot and Diana restore order to those who wait. 122. 120. Silly Billy and Kabbalah help us to appreciate others passing by. 123. 121. Kelly and Libby are the laws demanded by the old. 124. 122. Diana and Shnuna find us the best to read in our welcoming books. 125. 123. Kabbalah and Bertha make us feel happy to transcend our found world. 126. 124. Libby and Marilyn spend our money which we cannot make. 127. 125. Shnuna and Ora let us stand up for the victims we find. 128. 126. Bertha and TT sit us down and stop the horseplay so that we may love reading. 129. 127. Marilyn and Selfish Billy keep us safe from the Autobots who feel books harm us. 130. 128. Aura and Honey make stories of wisdom. 131. 129. TT and Elaine give help in the community with such poetry. 132. 130. Selfish Billy and Teresa relate signs to signs which look ancient. 133. 131. Honey and Diana create many wandering pieces. 134. 132. Elaine and Shay create the M.O.A.T event and form coat. 135. 133. Teresa and Marba make us remember the little children. 136. 134. Donna and Amy give us time to talk it out in a peaceful way. 137. 135. Shay and Yaffa make us equals to the world. 138. 136. Marba and Stephanie make us professionals with one world or another. 139. 137. Amy and Ora Tifarito know when an opportunity is good for an action to be done in the day. 140. 138. Yaffa and Richard give us power to think big. 141. 139. Stephanie and Lisbeth bring us rewards of victory over rivals. 142. 140. Ora ora Tiferito and Valerie expose us to the sublime. Culture in a sublime way. 143. 141. Richard and Kathleen know what goes where right now. 144. 142. Lisbeth and Invisibility guide each of us home when on the sea. 145. 143. Valerie and Robbie bring a respect for all days anew. 146. Other books by the McBrides. The Transcendence. The Wonder and Love of M.O.A.T. M.O.A.T. Outline. Hawaiian Sonnets and Other Poems. For Those Who Trust God and Other Angelic Note-Takings. The Hydromancy of Jenny. Shell, M.O.A.T. and Barriers. Head Buttressiah. And many more. 1. Blind Texas, How Books Relate to M.O.A.T. By Jenny Kelly, T.T. Ora. And Billy McBride. 2. Copyright, by William McBride. ISBN 978-0-557-51200-3. 3. 1. One can ask why the monument goes over there to become built. We chose that nice place in our Texas, and would love to have our art settle on it. 4. 2. Because one finds Texas a great place, many tourists are coming forever to see its land, and to own 2 acres is a good start. Is our town nowhere to be found? 5. 3. In many ways, a Texas landscape the tourists find awesome. They may cleverly go and support the economy by seeing our 2 acres and buying. 6. 4. On the Texas landscape one finds things. In The Tempest. By William Shakespeare one knows how Prospero and company are on the peaceful island alone. 7. 5. Meno's diagram in Plato's Meno provides much. Texas, a land of plenty, also by others is divided up just fine as by Meno, the slave who is careful. 8. 6. Texas has much land to be given to M.O.A.T. Agamemnon has much sway and promises Achilles to give him land if he fights. 9. 7. On the road of the Texas landscape one finds many possibilities offered to one. Sigmund Freud's psychic map of the mind always is changing, never so plain. 10. 8. You can find that Texas is barren in places as a land of the wilderness in the Torah. In that book one finds a land of milk and honey promised. 11. 9. What goes on in Texas is a link to Hamlet. Hamlet asks if it is ever a truth that his undiscovered country, which frightens, is a gloomy death or not. 12. 10. There are 2 acres to be bought. As in many cases there is one set, and they provide entertainment, the charitable monuments on the 2 acres to be discovered. 13. 11. On the road of life the Tempest is like the 2 acres found. On a peaceful drive going along the road, both are places where one can laugh and find peace. 14. 12. One is happy to take apart the diagram in Meno. To buy the 2 acres also is good. Plato's work is a reaction to having seen a blind to what comes next man as a kind of slave. 15. 13. One makes suggestions to others to know where one is. The 2 acres to be bought to be seen by open-minded people are promises of what they find in Agamemnon's promise to. 16. 14. 2 acres of land for the monument is all. Freud's map of the mind is all to him, as both are wild, so this is an awesome idea. 17. 15. The 2 acres of land are represented in the Hebrew Bible. In the Torah, based out upon Hashem's donations. Our buying of the land is as the land of milk and honey, a given. 18. 16. One finds a wild 2 acres is bought. It is Hamlet's judgment that amazing is the undiscovered country of death. The country of M.O.A.T. is a similarity. 19. 17. As on reads The Tempest, one sees how tourists find on the land that it is a good, a peaceful land. Also, the 2 acres of land in M.O.A.T. projects are good. 2018. One finds that even a slave can learn. The 2 acres of tourist land are similar to Mino's slave's diagram as forms are drawn. The M.O.A.T. project is awesome. 2119. There are 2 acres to visit the land of M.O.A.T. And like the general, Agamemnon's promise to Achilles, we also promise as a reward. 2220. 2 acres of M.O.A.T. to tour are visitable. Freud's map of the mind, as Freud would say, is a great vista as. Similarly, the 2 acres are also beautiful. 2321. To the Israelites as to visitors now the wilderness and the great promised land are given, as the M.O.A.T. project is given land as well. 2422. To be interested in M.O.A.T. is as Hamlet's undiscovered country, we know that it is inevitable as the 2 acres project also is strong. 2523. There is something to be said about The Tempest, about its place of a peaceful land, like the projected Mino's diagram drawn by a slave. 2624. So the peaceful land of The Tempest is very much absolutely a kind of gift, like the promised land during a quarrel, over fighting, which Achilles and Agamemnon have. 2725. The peaceful land of the characters in The Tempest is good to be studied, it makes sense forever always like Freud's map of the mind, a place destined for wellness. 2826. And, reading one has knowledge of The Tempest and the awesome way of life on a peaceful landscape. It is like the promised land in the Torah. 2927. One searches for the knowledge of the Tempest way, and of the peaceful land. And, the greatest gift of life could be Hamlet's undiscovered country. 3028. Agamemnon to Achilles promises land. Agamemnon who promises this to him is as the master of Mino's diagrams. Slave to whom Socrates promises much positively beneficial. 3129. There is the diagram of course, and Freud's map of the mind indeed which Mino's slave and Freud have in repression in representation in common. 3230. To the careful reader, the overall sense of Mino's slave is interesting, just as when Hashem promised a land of milk and honey to the Israelites. 3331. The one who seeks to know learns, like Mino's slave who does know, why one draws upon the undiscovered, and so our Hamlet is not so ordinary either. 3432. Agamemnon is careful to give out to Achilles his promise. Freud's map of the mind is also a place given to us, by Freud. 3533. To Achilles, the general who is brave, Agamemnon gives his promise of it, just as Hagadol Hashem promises to those who wander the wilderness, his promise of land. 3634. Our Hamlet is one who is like death's messenger, Agamemnon who promises much as an aid to Achilles if he fights the war. 3735. The idea like the idea of our Freud's map of the mind is the one in which Hashem gives the land of milk and honey forever. 3836. The ideas not simplistic are those of Freud's map of the mind, with him being a conquistador, as Hamlet, for Hamlet's undiscovered country. 3937. There is much to be said about the land of milk and honey, of the chosen similarity between that and Hamlet's undiscovered country of all. 4038. An I-beam is absolutely one kind of structure. To an I-beam, we catalog the awesome part to say also that a home is a monument of a monument. 4139. Inside these kinds of ideas, fun. An I-beam is what one sees on each structure of a monument set of spiraling Monuments in a spot. 42. 40. Inside our thanks is a connection to an I-beam, as in Julius Caesar of William Shakespeare, the swords of Brutus and the other conspirators connect to the whole. 43. 41. Inside our minds we can also know an I-beam is multifunctional. Like the jail bars which hold Plato's Socrates in Athens. 44. 42. An I-beam idea comes to us at M.O.A.T. The I-beam of M.O.A.T is a very important material like the spears in Homer's Iliad to the men. 45. 43. Totem poles are studied by Freud. M.O.A.T. I-beam connects also to them and connects in a way with, figuratively, Freud's tribe's notions even of stacking up. 46. 44. Moshe from the Torah connects with an I-beam because he uses a rod in the way an I-beam is used, to prepare for the long road of wonder. 47. 45. A foil is what Hamlet uses to play. Hamlet uses a foil, and we at M.O.A.T use an I-beam to build up our own kind of play and wonder. 48. 46. In M.O.A.T a monument is seen as amazing. Why? A monument of M.O.A.T and swords are big challenges. This is how it relates to the swords of Brutus and co. 49. 47. In our M.O.A.T there lies the idea of constructing a monument. This is a rap like the jail bars of Socrates, which all could see surrounded him in Athens. 50. 48. It is important for us to also link the monument to the uses of the spears of Homer's men in the Iliad, for causes they were and are used. 51. 49. One seeks an understanding of how a monument of M.O.A.T may be understood. We do seek the connection that a Freudian tribe totem pole comes close to it. 52. 50. Where Moshe used his rod to get by, a single monument of M.O.A.T is a part again which aids in the way all think about freedom. 53. 51. The overall connection is there. A M.O.A.T monument does, in a playful way, link to our Hamlet's use of a foil, as it is important to discover. 54. 52. A monument set is great, and, to be tourists and to see it is wonderful, and in intensities it has similarities with the swords of Brutus and the conspirators. 55. 53. Overall M.O.A.T monuments are useful for charities. Similarly, in Athens Socrates was in jail without complaint. An overall purpose of all of us may be to be as happy as we can be. 56. 54. The physicality of the monuments of our own good. M.O.A.T monument sets are as real as the spears of Homer's men. Like spears, monuments are used to move the ideals of us, to help others out. 57. 55. There is much to add about the good monument set, and how it links to life. So between it and our writers, Freud's totem pole, much is there. 58. 56. Here at M.O.A.T we build up now the monument set. Moshe also built up his confidence in Hashem since, like a boost, the rod worked. 59. 57. The M.O.A.T monument set is something which wraps around and can tie into the overall scenario of the plays. Sword play in Hamlet. 60. 58. The swords of Brutus and the other conspirators relate to the bars of steel in a jail, the one confining Plato's Socrates, who dies. 61. 59. Inside the play of William Shakespeare, Brutus and the conspirators are against Julius Caesar and their swords speak as Homer's men's spears speak. 62. 60. The swords of Brutus and company help to make up a firm relation between them and the totem poles of the various tribes who need power. 63. 61. Between the fallen rod of Moshe and the swords of Brutus and the conspirators a relation of powerful sway is created, since it obviously emerges. 64. 62. There is a passage of relation twixt the swords of Brutus and Co. and some other objects in literature like the foils of Hamlet and Laertes. 65. 63. The solidity of the jail bars of Plato's Socrates, which hold him indeed captive, in one manner, links to the spears of Homer's soldiers who wield them. 66. 64. It is not impossible that one might find how now the jail bars of Socrates within his prison relate to our Freud's totem pole's rigidity. 67. 65. In order to find a clue one may think about the jail bars of Socrates. One is to meditate also upon them and the staff of Moshe together. 68. 66. Socrates' prison bars, which in Athens, kept him unfree, relate in a strange way to Hamlet's foils because the projections are both treated as silly by their characters. 69. 67. One finds interesting a relation twixt Homer's men's spears, used in a war, and Freud's tribe's totem pole, used for making a threat. 70. 68. To the soldiers fighting in the Iliad, Homer's men's spears are tools which are as important as, now, the rod of Moshe is for threatening. 71. 69. The spears of Homer's men are just as symbolically significant to their story as the foils of Hamlet and of Laertes, though just not obviously as deadly. 72. 70. Freud's totem pole is an object of magic regularly used by the tribes as the staff of Moshe in the Torah in Exodus is a miracle of Hashem. 73. 71. Freud's totem pole is an object of rivalry as Hamlet's foils are to the characters who use them, and both relationships are connected. 74. 72. The rod of Moshe is a seriousness. But the foils of Hamlet and Laertes, who in the play are used for sparring, are also secretly serious weapons. 75. 73. Excellently, people have to go see the M.O.A.T. monument sets. In time they see how they must be near them and people must walk around them. 76. 74. In time as the M.O.A.T. monuments occur, people must take a trip to visit them. Afterwards, when tired, these people must go back home. 77. 75. Many people must visit M.O.A.T. monuments in Texas in awe just as Shakespeare's King Lear ventured off into the wilderness. 78. 76. Many others indeed, who are able so must go to see and experience them with their eyes and senses, the M.O.A.T. projects, like coming out of Plato's cave. 79. 77. Others happen to experience the M.O.A.T. project in person. As the men in Homer's Iliad, who venture from camp in the day and night. 80. 78. Many of those people are like those who seek a remedy through psychoanalysis, visiting a M.O.A.T. project. Many tend to their curiosities. 81. 79. It becomes important to study how those who go to see the M.O.A.T. monument set are just as determined as Abraham from the Torah, who went to Egypt. 82. 80. Those who go to see the M.O.A.T. monument are happy to have the chance, they are as Hamlet who goes himself to London with friends. 83. 81. It becomes excellent that lots of people walk around the monument set of the M.O.A.T. builders to eventually return home. 84. 82. Walking people who experience the monuments on the landscape in the fields of Texas are as King Lear who wanders around lost to see things for himself. 85. 83. Many of those who walk around the monuments are like the prisoner who came out of the cave into the light for the first time. 86. 84. People walk around the monument sets in the fields and they so relate to Homer's men who walk around in places beyond their camps. 87. 85. In Texas, the monuments of M.O.A.T. are built for others to walk around and experience. Like analysis becomes a plan for the patient going to therapy to be healed. 88. 86. People visiting monuments with many others who are walking around, have an important time going far beyond their own neighborhoods, like Abraham who with Sarai visited the farther Egypt. 89. 87. Like Hamlet going to London, people who go walking around the field to experience the M.O.A.T. monuments set are satisfying one need to find solitude. 90. 88. The monument set of M.O.A.T. may be visited by many others in the similar way Mad King Lear had an adventure in the fields of England. 91. 89. Those who visit the M.O.A.T. field monuments return home from their experiences with much to say, like the freed prisoner of Plato's Republic who went back to his earth dwelling. 92. 90. People who return home from their trip to visit the M.O.A.T. projects as the men who fight at Troy went back to their camps refreshed also. 93. 91. One who remembers the books one reads experiences much to build upon, like how there becomes a building relationship of going to therapy and going to visit a series of monuments. 94. 92. One goes happily home after visiting the M.O.A.T. project, just as Abraham and Sarai were sent back to their homes by the Pharaoh of Egypt long ago. 95. 93. Others go back to their origins when seeing the M.O.A.T. series of monuments in the fields, and this experience is like Hamlet's who returned from his adventures in London. 96. 94. King Lear, when mad, wandered into the wilderness. Similarly, Platt's cave-dwelling prisoner wandered into the light of the real world. 97. 95. In the play King Lear wandered around alone, just as many soldiers fight one-on-one in Homer's Iliad, one fight at a time. 98. 96. It is excellent to relate this, Mad King Lear wandered in the wilderness as others who have a need for psychoanalytic therapy. 99. 97. King Lear walked around alone in England, and Abraham and Sarai returned back from Egypt to their homes, and they are tied together, these concepts. 100. 98. King Lear was mad and as a result went into his self, like Hamlet who went to London to be more solitary. 101. 99. Plato's cave prisoner walked into the light and like the men of Homer's Iliad, who return alive from fighting, had experiences of the greatest adventures. 102. 100. In the Republic, an unhappy book, Plato's cave dweller returned from his adventure actually with much knowledge. Like many neurotics who undergo it, gain from Freudian psychoanalysis. 103. 101. Excellently, Plato's cave dweller was much like the pair of Abraham and Sarai who returned back to their home illuminated. 104. 102. Plato's cave dweller returned back to his cave as Hamlet returned back from London. Both incidents helped the characters know something better. 105. 103. The therapist of Freud helps the patient, like the Homeric men who fight at Troy, in the patient's own way, fight the problems she or he must face. 106. 104. Homeric men and women return to glory when things go well, just like the return to home, and to glory, from Egypt, of Abraham and Sarai. 107. 105. One must be illuminated to see how Homer's soldiers returned home from battle alive but still struggling, like the Dane, Hamlet, who went to England and back similarly. 108. 106. Freudian psychoanalysts are there for the neurotic who needs help, who goes and returns home. This relates to Abraham and Sarai who went to Egypt and back. 109. 107. Freud's neurotics are much like Hamlet. When Hamlet returned from England, Hamlet was facing still the reality of his life, like those who need emotional help. 110. 108. Abraham and Sarai returned back from their adventure in Egypt. Hamlet returned back from his adventure in England. All were troubled. 111. Finesse. 112. Some other books by the McBrides. The Transcendence. Beauty and Progress. Hawaiian Sonnets and Other Poems. Headbuttressiah, a Fantasy. The Wonder and Love of M.O.A.T. M.O.A.T. Fundraising. Billy McBride's Marriage to Angels. Our Best Book on M.O.A.T. By Billy McBride. Copyright 2013, by William McBride. 1. We will work on M.O.A.T. 36, Sesame Street for a while. Kabbalah. 2. M.O.A.T. 36 makes M.O.A.T, it is that simple. Bertha. 3. M.O.A.T. 36 makes monuments, a tourist attraction spiral. Elaine. 4. What is a spiral, honestly, critically? Lisbeth. 5. Monument, ruins. Lisbeth. 6. Just work on M.O.A.T. for now. Bertha. 7. The life of M.O.A.T. is about construction, planning, and marketing. There is also the charitable side. Marilyn. 8. Money for M.O.A.T. Amy. 9. I married 30 angels 4 years ago, we might as well try to do some good things, like M.O.A.T., which I've been patiently working on over many years. Billy M. 10. We want to do M.O.A.T. even if it is out of our reach. Thrickbit. 11. We could just write about desiring M.O.A.T., they monuments for the state of Texas's 254 counties, 254 spirals of 120 monuments each. Honey. 12. And, we could just read scribe M.O.A.T. until our eyes are blue. Kabbalah. 13. The objects we are making make money for charity. Because people are moved to donate/buy. Penelope. 14. The economical side of M.O.A.T. works, it is a money multiplier in the sense that it is made to maximize money. In a win-win situation for 4 charities, those who help the victims of schizophrenia, cancer, AIDS, and rape. Libby. 15. So what is a monument? There are church monuments. But ours aren't tombs, in fact when done right they are crowd builders. Bertha. 16. M.O.A.T. 36 is an inclusive group, nothing is exclusive about it. Thrickbit. 17. The desire for charity and the desire for seeing the monuments. Donna. 18. Angel Pole. With M.O.A.T. and M.O.A.T. 36. Donna. 19. Donna is the most outrageous. Aura. 20. A single monument of M.O.A.T. and beyond is the most well-balanced object, and the most interesting. Aura. 21. A pair of monuments of M.O.A.T. is the most open of sculptures, and the most connecting of sculptures around. Marilyn. 22. A spiral of 120 monuments is the most shiny, brilliant, of sculptures and the most grand, awesome, of man-made objects. Ariel. 23. The engineering method of M.O.A.T. is the most beautiful and the most simple of sculptures, being log cabin-like and perimeter irregular. Shnuna. 24. The most open is the most connecting. The most shining is the most grand. The most beautiful is the most simple. The most well-balanced is the most interesting. Aura Tifarito. 25. We designed the individual M.O.A.T. monument to be the most interesting and well-balanced sculpture of all sculptures. Aura Tifarito. 26. We designed the pair of M.O.A.T. monuments to be the most open and the most connective. Aura Tifarito. 27. Interestingness leads to openness. Openness leads to brilliance. Aura. 28. Beauty leads to well-balance. Well balance leads to connectivity. Connectivity to awesomeness. Aura. 29. Brilliance is perfect lighting, the hopeful light of M.O.A.T. The hopeful colors of M.O.A.T. Ariel. 30. The mythology of M.O.A.T. 36. Ariel. 31. Perfect lighting is a perfect combo of shadows, light and colors, hot and cold colors. Ariel. 32. Beauty is 2 steps before the brilliance of perfect lighting. Lisbeth. 33. The hot and clawed compositions which we did for Stay Friends was the whole of the M.O.A.T. spiral in a seed. Bertha. 34. What then is beauty? Ask Valerie. Elaine. 35. There are no problems with beauty. Elaine thinking of Miranda and Richard Rorty. 36. Beauty is a freedom. Libby. 37. So our individual monument, being the most beautiful sculpture, evokes the meaning of freedom, and what follows. Freedom. Bertha. 38. Moses fought, or stood for freedom. Shay. 39. Brilliance is the splendor of a whole, as Jacob's ladder was. Shay. 40. Interestingness, well balance, is the part of the whole. Freed, which means beauty and suggests Moses's Ark of the Tabernacle. Honey. 41. The open and therefore connecting pair of monuments suggests all of the altars to the Lord, monuments raised by Abraham, Sarah, Isaac, and Jacob. Honey. 42. The Ark of the Tabernacle leads to a vision of all of the altars, monuments, raised by the Torah's characters. And those series of monuments leads to a vision of the brilliance of Jacob's ladder. Ariel. 43. The most beautiful object in HaTorah, the Ark of the Tabernacle, is well balanced and interesting. Ariel. 44. The most open, and also the most connective object in Torah is the series of monuments by Abraham, Sarah, Isaac, and Jacob. Ariel. 45. The most brilliant and awesome, grand, object in HaTorah is Jacob's ladder. Ariel. 46. We all want beauty, openness, and brilliance, radiance, in our lives. I'm not the only one. Billy M. 47. This M.O.A.T. project is the most charitable and the most lively project we could think of. Libby. 48. The meanings of the monuments. Libby. 49. Land ladder. Libby. 50. The spiral is the most strange of geometries. Bertha. 51. Spiral of light, a light spiral M.O.A.T. Teresa. 52. The spiral is also the most motion-changing of geometries. Penelope. 53. The strangest geometry is the most dynamic. Elaine. 54. In the most brilliant, radiant, awesome, and most perfectly lighted composition is found the strangest geometry and the most dynamic. Amy. 55. Awesomeness is allied to the wide landscapes of M.O.A.T. Amy. 56. A wide field is the most ancient and the most coveted of spaces. Amy. 57. The most ancient, the oldest is the most coveted, being the best. Donna. 58. Fields are the best places. Thrickbit. 59. The Spiral of Light, our 120 Monuments M.O.A.T. project, rests on a wide field and is open to the traveler. Honey. 60. The light from the sky is reflected off the stainless steel I-beams, which each of the 120 monuments are composed of. Honey. 61. Let's talk about M.O.A.T. life. Elaine. 62. This is an interaction of the M.O.A.T. 36 with the world to make M.O.A.T. succeed. Kabbalah. 63. This is a Longinian project, and not much a literal one. Bertha. 64. Who are the M.O.A.T. 36? Elaine. 65. The M.O.A.T. 36 group is the group who is the most on the verge of success, being the most hopeful, and the group, who is the most benign. Libby. 66. The M.O.A.T. narrative is the most charitable and the most lively there is. Bertha. 67. Perfectly lit spirals. Elaine. 68. Fragmented spirals made of polished stainless steel. Elaine. 69. Texas, the state, has 254 counties. Each county is the best at something in its own way, just as each shape in a different spiral composition is the best in its own unique way. See our book Angel Pole. Diana. 70. 254 counties, 254 different kinds of shapes which make up the monuments for the spirals of light. Each county in the state of Texas gets its own spiral of light. Diana. 71. Texas, the state, is the most tracked and the most blank of the 50 states of the Union. Diana. 72. We need to make several M.O.A.T. proposals for sponsors. Benevova. 73. A sponsor is the most generous of all and the most relaxed of business people. Benevova. 74. A tourist is the most amazed and the most useful of people. Kelly. 75. A saying is the most defensive and the most successful of actions. Libby. 76. The state of Texas has 254 smaller divisions, counties. Libby. 77. Spiritual golf is one way to raise money for M.O.A.T. Grouchy. 78. CEOs of differing companies play the M.O.A.T. 36 it. Spiritual golf, yet we always win because M.O.A.T. 36 is mostly made up of angels. Ariel. 79. How do you play spiritual golf? It is not regular golf. Elaine. 80. Spiritual golf is the most mysterious and the most narrative of all games. Lisbeth. 81. A spiritual golf tournament held each year on a surprise date will determine the funding for 10 M.O.A.T. light spirals for 10 new Texan counties that year. Thrickbit. 82. There will be 26 tournaments over 26 years to complete the fundraising for the 254 spirals of light. Honey. 83. M.O.A.T. costs $6 billion to erect. Kelly. 84. M.O.A.T. as a whole is the sum of all of the light spirals. Libby. 85. A year is the most comprehensive and most diverse of all measurements. Marion. 86. A game is the most public and the most inclusive of all activities. Ariel. 87. Technology is the most necessary and the most useful tool for fundraising. Ariel. 88. Angels know all, they are the most caring and knowledgeable of all beings. Ariel. 89. Only CEOs and angels seem to know how to play spiritual golf. Ariel. 90. There are secret codes to the beginning of a game of spiritual golf which engage both the CEOs with the angels in playing a tournament. Grouchy. 91. CEOs who are picked to play with angels in a spiritual golf tournament channel them as a requirement for play. Grouchy. 92. Angels are channeled not in the form of hallucinations, which are illusions, but through the measured strokes and syllables of the breath which, when possessed by angels, form a language to communicate with them. Grouchy. 93. Spiritual golf of M.O.A.T. is a defense only, not an aggression. Amy. 94. A defense is the most patient and the best event of the will. Of all of the will's events. Shay. 95. What is a CEO? A CEO is a business leader who is super rich. Shay. 96. It is commonly known that CEOs have become super rich from business competition in the free market of capitalism. Shay. 97. Angels take turns and are always fair. Shay. 98. They could buy a book. Yaffa. 99. They could sponsor M.O.A.T. Yaffa. 100. They could help with publicity. Yaffa. 101. They could be good. Yaffa. Finesse.